Good morning, everyone. This is my first session, and I will be explaining about the usage of KiCad. KiCad is basically a PCB tool, which just like how Akhilesh told, I'll just continue with the basic introduction where Akhilesh has stopped. So this is how the components used to be rigged up earlier. This was in the 1980s, and then this is the surface mount technology, and this is called as the plated through hole technology. What you see is you might get a confusion that both of them are similar, the surface mount technology as well as the plated through hole technology. The difference is shown over here. The surface mount is just mounted on a plate, whereas the through hole has a hole, and then you insert the component, lead, and then you solder it. So this is the basic difference, and PCBs are implementing the second method, that is plated through hole. It is also called as through hole technology. So this is the back end of a PCB where the brown colored layer, I'm sure most of you, whoever is attending, knows that this is a copper plate and this is a conducting path. And yeah, coming to the installation procedure, you can find a lot of videos on YouTube, and I don't have to explain you about the installation procedure. You just have to Google KiCad, and then you end up on this page where you have the option to download for different, either you have a Mac or Windows, however it is. So let's just begin. The reason why the session is going to be interesting is, so there are 34 people today. Awesome, no problem. Okay, thank you for joining on a Sunday. And moreover, the reason why you have to stay till the end is I'm going to teach you how to convert this kind of a schematic diagram into this kind of a 3D diagram. So if you find it interesting, then please stay till the end. Yeah, so let's just begin. Okay, so the screen is visible. I'll just start with the software directly. Okay, my software screen is also visible. So starting with, you have to click over here. You don't have to, in case you have a laptop, I'm sure you won't be able to continue along with me because it's a huge software and it will take some time to install. But instead, you can just pay attention to what I'm doing. It's just similar to how the basic steps are similar to what you had in the first sem or second sem, which was solid edge for your CAD. So in the beginning, what you're supposed to do is you have to create a path for your project. So file new, and then you have to go to project, and then decide which project you want. So build session. So my project is ready. So what you can see two things. One is CanBuild Session 1 SCH, and the other one is CanBuild Session 1 KiCad underscore PCB. So we can just click on this. So yeah, now a new window has opened. What we're supposed to do over here is we have to insert elements. So I'll tell you the steps how we are supposed to do it. First, you have to design a 2D diagram. Then you have to link it with the models which are given by the software. Then you have to weave in the 3D model. That's all you're supposed to do. So beginning with creating the schematic diagram. I hope you guys can see a place symbol icon on the right. So I have to click on this, and I'll click anywhere on the screen. So this ends up on this dialog box where I get a lot of components which are available by this software. So I just have to click on the components which I need. So just like I showed you, I'll be showing you this kind of circuitry, right? So I'll need, what do I need over here? I need three LEDs, three resistors, and one connector pin. That's the most simple circuit which I'll be teaching you because it's the first session. I don't want to complicate things. So all right. Okay, so I need three LEDs, right? So I'll be just typing in LED, and if I just type LED over here, I'll get a list of LEDs over here, and that is why I'll be choosing the most generic form. That is the first one, and I'll just click OK, and click anywhere on the screen. Zoom it. You can scroll it and zoom it. It's the same as Solid Edge. All right. And in case I want to copy it, here are some shortcuts. Okay. I'll come to the shortcuts later. I'll just put all the components which I need over here. So the second component is a resistor. So just click R and you get resistor on top of it. Okay. And then click OK here. And then the last component which I need is a connector. So I'll just type CONN, and I have a lot of connectors over here. I need a 1 into 4 connector, which is male. I'll add it over here. Yeah. pretty much done. And yeah, coming to the shortcuts. So far we were using this tool, which is place symbol, and now I have to go to the select tool, that is the select item on top. What I'm supposed to do is just hover over the component which you have placed. Okay, just hover over it, just keep your mouse pointer over there and click on R. So this is how it happens. I am not clicking anything. I'm just clicking R. I'm just pressing the button R, and it's rotating. These are the shortcuts you need to know. And yeah, the same applies to all the components. And if at all I want to move it, I have to keep the mouse pointer there, and I have to click M. And this is how I can get access to move it anywhere on the screen. Yeah. So then just click it wherever you want it. Now I want to copy the component. The shortcut is you have to keep the mouse pointer over there, and you have to click C. All right, the duplicate has been generated and I have to click anywhere where I want to place it. So again, repeat the same procedure. Yeah. So are things clear till here? Is anyone having any kind of doubt? Okay, no response seems to be like there's no doubt. And yeah, so continuing with the thing, the resistor, I'll just copy it and I'll place it because I need three resistors, right? So I'll keep it over here. All right. So now the circuit has been built. I mean, the components have been placed. The thing I have to do is I have to connect it. So to connect it, you can see over here, there's a green colored line, which is place wire. All right. I have to connect all the cathodes. You know, the LEDs are having cathodes and anodes, right? So I'll be shorting all the cathodes first. Yeah. And then I'll be giving them to one, pin number one. And connect all the diodes and resistors. And then give the first resistor to pin number 2, give the second resistor to pin number 3, and fourth one to pin number 4. Okay, it's not pretty neat, but no problem, it's just for your understanding. So is it zoomed enough? Yeah. Yeah. Can you just see that the resistors are having R question mark and what else? D question mark. Whereas we are used to the practice of writing it as R1, R2, R3, D1, D2, D3. Yeah, that's how we are supposed to write it, no? So you have a choice to just click on it. You have the option to select item and double click on it, and then you get this dialog box. And you can just type in R. But instead, I will choose to do it all together. I don't want to do it individually. So what I do is you have an option on top, annotate schematic symbols. I hope you guys can see it. So I'll just click on this and then I have the option to annotate it, right? Double click and close. So everything has been named now. Initially it was R question mark, R2, R question mark. So now it has been changed to R1 and R2. Similarly D1 and D2, right? Okay, fine. And now the components have been placed, the wires have been connected. I have done the annotations. Okay, so now let's go to the, I have to generate a netlist. What is a netlist? You are basically, now the procedure of drawing the schematic diagram is done. We have to shift to the 3D model. To shift to the 3D model procedure, we have to first generate something called as a netlist. I hope you guys can see over here on top. It is called, am I being too fast? Okay, pretty much no response. Generate netlist. Okay, Vikas, thank you for your response. Thank you for your response. All right. So yeah, so I hope you guys know the reason why I'm doing generate netlist. So till here the procedure is same. You just have to attach the components and then connect it using wires over here. And now I'm going to create netlist. The reason why I'm doing this is to shift from 2D to 3D. Okay, for that I have to create a path which will link to the 3D components. That is why generate netlist, and I have to create anywhere you want. Okay, just save it. I had to actually give the footprints before creating a netlist. I have to assign the components the 3D symbols. For that I'm supposed to do go over here, assign PCB footprints to schematic symbols. So what has happened is you guys can see that I had very limited components on the schematic field. So here I had three diodes, I had three resistors, I had one connector, right? So as soon as I click on assign footprints, the procedure is just that I am linking the 2D diagrams with the 3D diagrams. So when I click on assign footprints, I'm getting all the components which are there in the 2D version. So I have three LEDs, I have one connector, I have three resistors. So just click on the first part. I'll tell you what the screen is all about. Okay, the middle part is all about the components which are in your schematic field. The left side is the category of your components, and the right side is the model of your component, the type of model which you wish to have in your PCB. Okay, so clicking on the first component, diode, I'll just go to the category of diodes. Where is it? Diode SMD and THD. Okay, here you might get a confusion which one to choose. So SMD is basically surface mount device, and THD is through hole technology. So like I said, PCB uses. Okay, I'll just go back to the screen and show you, make it very clear why you're supposed to use THD. Okay, this is the screen. This is surface mount technology, and this is plated through hole. That is through hole technology, or PTH. It is one and the same. We are implementing the second technology, which is plated through hole, and that is why we are going to plated through hole is same as THD, and that is why I am choosing THD. Surface mount technology, we are not implementing it for PCB right now. That is why I go to diode THD, and then I have to choose which category I want. I am skipping vertical. Here I have all the options, either it is vertical or horizontal. So I'm just clicking on horizontal because I want it to be horizontal. And that's how I'm going to do it. No, I'm sorry. I wanted LEDs, right? Not the diode. So I have to go to LED THT again, and then click on LED. I'll be choosing this one, the D30mm, to avoid complications. Okay. And similarly repeat for D2 and D3. Okay, so you can see three names have appeared over here. So it is just to show that I have assigned the schematic LEDs with 3D models. So how to check whether I have assigned it or not? Just click on the first one. Okay, you can see the blue colored highlighting, and then click on the first one. On top of here, you have view selected footprint. You have this option, right? And then if I click on this will give me the PCB layout. This will give me how it will show on the PCB. Okay, not in the real world, in the software, how the PCB will look like with this component. So instead, if I want to look, if I want to see how it is going to look in the real life, I have to click here on top, 3D display. Okay, okay. So this is how it will appear in real life. Okay, there is an LED which has a cathode and an anode. This is the best part of using this software, because most of us want things to be attractive. Because if you just upload a 2D diagram and submit it to someone, nobody will be attracted to it. And this is quite interesting about this software. So yeah, this is how it is going to look in real life. So moving on to, now I have seen, I'm satisfied with the component. I'm just going back and checking. These three are the same component, so I don't have to check it again. So going to the next component, that is connector, 1 into 4 male. You have to search the component connector. So I'll just go with pin header because it is okay. Fine, male. You need male. So the pins have to be moving, projecting outside. That is why I'll go to pin 1 into 4, this component. I want it to be horizontal, and I'll just click on it, and now this has been attached. Going to the resistor, the same thing. I have to search in this category, resistor THT, and then I have to choose any of them. Problem with this is you need to know where actually the component is. Prefer horizontal more than vertical every time. I hope this is the one. Yes, thank God. All right, so it is axial DIN 024, axial DIN 024. So just copy the same component to all the three components. So we're almost done. And now till here, is anyone having any kind of doubts? I'm glad that 34 people are still there. Nobody is leaving. Okay, people are leaving, but okay, fine. 35 is a good number. So is anyone having any kind of doubts? Okay, thank you, Devi Prasad. Thank you. Thank you, Vikas. Yeah. So we have linked the schematics with the 3D model. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. So apply. So once we have linked, do not forget to apply, save schematic, and continue. Okay. So click on apply and then click OK. So now what has happened is, let's move on to this page. Okay. I had told you about this generate netlist option, right? I was supposed to do it after assigning the footprints. So you have the option called as generate netlist over here. So click on generate netlist. Now it has already been created. Okay, fine. And now you so I hope you understood what I did. First I assigned the footprints, then I generated the netlist. Now I'm moving on to the run PCB. So if I want to see how my schematic looks in a PCB, I have to go to this place. It is called as run PCB new to layout printed circuit board. So it will show me how my schematic will look in a PCB. So this is the visual how it will look like. This is blank. So I have to link whatever I have saved, the folder which I saved just now. I have to link it. For that, earlier I had generate netlist, right? So here I'm having load netlist. So whichever I have generated, I'm able to load it over here. So click on it. I have to browse the file where I have saved it. This is the file which I saved it. So click on open and then update PCB. Update PCB. Yes. Close. Okay. So you guys can see something over here. This is totally messed up, and now your job is to actually separate everything. You have to distance everything. Okay. The first and foremost thing what you're supposed to do is you don't have to be an expert. Just drag it here and there. That's all you're supposed to do. Okay. And this will take some time. Please be patient. Okay. I want my LEDs to be in the order of D1, D2, D3. So I'll be placing D1 on top, and then I'll be placing D2, and then I'm having D3 over here. Okay. Then I want my resistors to be here. Okay, so the LEDs are placed. Now I want to rotate my resistor. So similarly, I have to click it and press R. Okay, yes. And similarly, I can move it, click it, and then again I can rotate it based on my convenience. Yes, and yeah, similarly. Is anyone having any doubt? I felt like the mic was on, so if anyone is having doubt, you can stop me anytime. I can repeat the whole procedure because there is nothing much complicated over here, so it won't be a problem for me to explain. So please feel free to ask if you did not understand even a single step. And please let me know if I'm going too fast, okay? Because I feel this is easy to understand. I don't have to take a lot of time to explain the basic steps. So don't feel shy to tell that you have not understood something. I'm just going on my pace. In case you did not understand, please let me know. Okay, so I have rotated this one. All right, I'll just make it a little more neat, and yeah, so we're pretty much done. So now what I'm supposed to do is the PCB is ready. We can even, okay, I have linked the 3D models, right? So I can directly see how my PCB will look like. For that, I have to go to View on top over here, and then I have an option called as 3D Viewer. Click on that. So this is how my PCB will look like. Okay, this is how my PCB will look like. Can anyone spot any kind of mistake in this PCB? Can anyone spot any kind of mistake in this PCB? I'll be giving 10 seconds to you. I'm not going to waste more time. So if anyone is finding any kind of mistake in this, please let me know. Exactly. Who is that? Ashish A. Bandari. Components are not connected. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, yes. I'm glad that you found out. You people are paying attention. Thank you. So what we have to do is we have to click on the wire over here. I have to choose the color of wire I need. So this is BCU. I'll be choosing CU stands for copper. Click anywhere on the pole. It will guide you where you're supposed to link it. Okay. Okay. It will guide you. See, I clicked on this point and it is showing me where to connect. This is where I'm supposed to connect it. Okay. Similarly, I have to connect it over here. It is actually supposed to be a straight line, but it is guiding me. It is not me who is doing it. So no problem. It is guy. Okay, I'm supposed to connect it over here. Okay. So you guys are noticing something over here. I could have connected, at an angle of 90-degree, but there is a bent over here. I'm talking about this bent. Okay. I'm talking about this bent. It could have been 90-degree, but it is not 90-degree. It is more than 90 degrees. Does anyone know the reason behind this? You can put it in the chat box. You can unmute yourself. Anyone knows the reason behind why we can't connect it in 90-degree? It can be connected, but it is avoided. Okay, fine, no problem. So the answer is, the basic property of conductors. You shouldn't keep any kind of, sharp edges. The charges are more concentrated. Okay, I have a response there. I want to see what it is. Does it offer resistance? Yeah, it is about the conducting thing. Okay, it is not about the resistance. The problem is, there is more conduction. Okay, when it comes to, you might have studied in your second PUC, you might have memorized 4 points about conductors, and one thing was, charges are stored in the corners of a conductor, right? So wherever there is a, pointed path, or wherever there is a corner, so that place the charges are more concentrated. That is not a good sign for a PCB, because it is going to reduce the efficiency. Yeah, like Devi Prasad said, I can tell it as it might offer resistance due to excessive heating, because charges are more concentrated. You guys can see a difference over here. That is, green color has shifted to brown color. The thing is, green color is on one side and brown color is about the bottom side. It is to show that it is not overlapping. All right, and let's move on to the next one. That is, yeah. So the same thing is happening. It is giving me another color of wire so that it doesn't overlap. Clicking on Weave and 3D Weaver. Now, can anyone tell what is the mistake over here? The connections are fine. The connections are fine. It is about the build. Suppose a client, you are a PCB designer, and a client has given you this job to create a PCB, and he looks at this PCB. What is the first and foremost thing which you're going to see as a mistake? The thing is, there's no much gap over here. This is the connecting conducting part. It can be shrink to a smaller size. Yeah, it can be shrink, Devi Prasad. You're right, but this is a basic thing, right? That is when you're completely thinking about the specifications and all that. So here, this is just a rough diagram. So I have not considered all the spacing. Yes, it can be shrink to a very small size. The thing over here is, the conducting path is very close to the, end of the PCB. That is why you have to maintain some gap over there. It shouldn't be very close. The conducting part, it is like a live wire being left out without any kind of insulation. Instead, you have to give some kind of gap over there. This part, I'm talking about this part. Okay, for that, what I'm supposed to do is, here you have an option called as edge cuts. Okay, edge cuts, and then I have to click over here, add graphic lines. If I click on this, I can create a rectangle, as a border to this PCB, and that will extend the PCB plate. Okay. Now, if I just see view and 3D Weaver, okay, the the size of the plate has increased. The components are over here. Yes. So yeah, we're almost done. Now, troubleshooting. How are we going to face some kind of situations? Okay. For example, a person has told you that he wants to add more components. You have already done the, circuitry. You have already done this, and but you want to add one more component. For example, the client says that he doesn't want to, stick the PCB. He wants to mount it. For that, he needs 4 holes in this. So I need to, there is an option called a mounting hole in this. Okay, you can attach holes to the PCB. That also comes along with it. So in case I want to do it, I have to click over here, add footprints. You don't have to go back, draw the schematic, attach the symbols. You don't have to do all that. You just have to click on add footprints, and then you have to click anywhere over here. So I want the holes to be on 4 corners. So I'll be clicking on the corner. So this has opened. I'll click on mounting. So I got the first one itself. This one. I'll click on OK. I'll place it over here. Almost done. So mounting. I'll click on mounting hole, and then click OK. Okay. So I've placed it over here. I want more such mounting holes. I can actually copy, but I just click on mounting hole again and click OK. So all right. So what does this mounting hole do? You can see something like yellow colored bulb, right? It is not a bulb actually. We can see how it will look in real life. So I'll go to 3D Weaver and show you how it will look like. So this is how these holes have been created now. Okay, these holes have been created. All right. We're almost done. The final step of the designing of PCB is, you have to go to, yeah, there's a system called as add filled zones over here, right? So click on add filled zones. Now I want to fill which zone, green colored wire. So I'll click on add filled zone over here. I'll just click the, see, you have to focus on which colored wires you have used. Here I have used a green colored wire and red colored wire, right? So I have to click on, okay, first I'll click on green colored wire, and then I'll click on add filled zones. I have to click on all the corners over here. Yeah, it'll give me an option to choose whether I've chosen the right color or not. Yes, green color is the right color. Click on OK, and yeah, click on all the four corners of it, and then yeah, we're almost done. The green color has been attached. Now let's go to the red color as well, because we have we have these wires over here, red colored. So we have to click on red colored and add filled zone, and again, yeah, the same OK, and it's just a confirmation dialog box over here. Yeah, so now our PCB is ready, and in case, yeah, the minute changes which you would like to make, if you want to name any component, you just have to click on this select tool, double click on it, you get a name, you get an option to change the name of the component, etc. This is how our PCB looks like. Okay, the thickness has been increased because of the layers which you have put in the end, the green and red colored layer. These are the components. The product might not be really suitable for the industry, but this is just to show you how to assemble components, how to work with components in KiCad. That is all. Yeah. So is anyone having any kind of doubts? I don't want to extend the session because I want you guys to explore. I just want to tell you the basics and you people have to explore it. Is anyone having any kind of doubts till here? No doubts. Okay. Thank you, Kirtan. Okay. Okay. No doubts. So I have actually created a full document of how to create this for all the people who have stayed till the end. So 43 people, and I'm really glad that you people stayed. Yeah, this is actually the document which I have created. I have taken the screenshot of every action which I have done, so that you, even you, if you have not noted anything down, I have taken down everything. So I am basically converting this schematic diagram to this one. So this is how the complete procedure starts over here. I have mentioned even the littlest thing, and yeah, so place symbol, everything has been noted down with
Nikhil, if you
yeah.
share the PPT, it would be of great help.
Yeah, sure. I will be sharing, definitely. I will be sharing. I just have to upload it on Google and then I'll share the link here. This is the project which you did, and this is the project which I did yesterday. So you can have really attractive projects. The reason why we chose this software is because the thing is, mechanical students have something which they can render it and put it on LinkedIn, okay? But we people have, the basic simple diagrams, just 2D diagrams, and that is not really attractive. But you can use these kind of softwares and actually brag about your skills. So that is why do give a try to KiCad because it is really interesting. I would like to conclude my session.